You're tuned into the Burrage Sports Show.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the very first episode of the Burrage Sports Show. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Burrage, and we're here with
Mike Burr.
Mike Burr, who always delivers. And just a little trivia fact, this is my son. I'm the dad, that's my son. So we're working together just to bring you the best sports, and we're going to cover all sorts of topics. We'd love for you to chime in, subscribe, give us your comments, and the main thing, we're just going to have some fun. So what we talking about today, Mike?
What the Bears have been doing this offseason, some of the players they brought in, some of the people they let go, and the draft picks, and we're going to give an assessment at the end of, was this a good year? Did they get better, or did they still have some work to do?
Okay, that's a good one. I like that topic. And just to let you guys know, we're from the Chi, Southsiders all day. So we are Bear fans. But we're going to try to be as objective as possible. We might be a little bit of a homer, but we'll try to keep it as real as possible. So, all right, Mike, why don't you start it off, man, and just let me know how you want to get going.
Well,
let's just flow.
We got to talk about Nick Foles.
Saint Nick.
Yep. I think I like the move. Like, I think you bring in a Super Bowl MVP. You bring in a veteran, and you improve. That's the most important position on the field. So, I think you get a much more proven player in there, and I think the locker room will gravitate to it because I think the players really want a championship. You know, they know they have a lot of good players in the locker room. So I think you just add more competition and just add a proven player there.
I think that's a good point. But let me say this to you, okay? So now we get Saint Nick. Nick Foles, all the credentials, got a nice big contract. But Mitch Trubisky was the number 2 pick in the draft. So what you think the Bears going to do? Are we rolling with Mitch because he's number 2 pick in the draft? Or are we rolling with Saint Nick because he has this nice contract? Like, how is Nagy, the head coach of the Bears, how's he gonna work that out? Like, who's the man coming into training camp whenever it starts?
Whenever they get back to training camp, I mean, I think it's gonna be like a open competition. What do you think is the best way about going about that?
Yeah, I think it should be an open competition because, you know, Nick Foles is coming off an injury last season. So, but he does have a better resume because he, you know, when you win a Super Bowl and they beat the Bears in the playoffs the year after that, when we were like 14-2 and we thought we were going to a Super Bowl. So he deserves a right to play to be the starter.
Yeah.
But Trubisky is a young talent. He was a high draft pick. So you don't want to give up on a high draft pick right away. So I think it should be, hey, may the best man win. You go out there, say, hey, we don't have a main guy on the depth chart. You two have to fight for your food and let the cream rise to the top. But it's a good situation to have.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think it'll bring out the best of both of them. You know, if Trubisky has that the talent of being a number 2 pick, then it's gonna come out. If you got, you know, somebody there that's won a Super Bowl already, you know, you're gonna want to show what you can do too. So I think in the end it's gonna just make the team better, whoever wins that competition.
Yeah, I think so too, and that's what we're hoping for. Because, like I said, we're Bear fans, and so we want to see our team do well. So, like I say, you got 2 quarterbacks. One is a young lion, the other one is a more experienced lion. I think both of them can play. And so, you know, that's okay. All right, what you want to hit on next? I'll just let you flow because you got it going on right now.
Another big playmaker is Ted Ginn.
Yes.
I love that. That was probably my favorite move.
Yeah.
I think Foles might have been like the most important move, but I think getting Ted Ginn was probably it was just a good move.
Yeah. He's a wide receiver, but he has some versatility. Like, he's a veteran. You really can line him up all around the field. I think he still does special teams, right?
Yeah, he'll probably return if you need him to. But we do have Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And we got Tariq Cohen. So I think it's good getting Ted Ginn.
Yeah, he was last on the Saints.
Right.
And I think that's the main thing. Like, you want playmakers, because you got Allen Robinson, you got Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
And Ted Ginn's like another guy that can make big plays. And that's what you really need. And he got speed too. You need speed on the field.
Yeah.
For real. The Chiefs show you why you need speed.
Man, Chiefs, that's a whole nother story, but yeah. And you know what I like about Ted Ginn? I like picking up veterans. A lot of people don't like to get veterans. Don't get me wrong, you have to have young talent, but it's good to have a veteran presence. Guys who are proven. Ted Ginn's going to catch the football.
Yep.
Ted Ginn is going to be reliable in the locker room. He's going to be good in the community. And all of that stuff over time, it does add up to be a Super Bowl caliber team. You have to have good quality guys and just straight up ballers. Like Ted Ginn is a baller.
Yeah.
Some guys are just flat out ballers. Some might be Hall of Fame, some not, but you still have to have ballers on your team. And so I like the fact they got Ted Ginn because he's going to come to play. You're never going to have to worry about motivating him or is he going to show up on Sunday. I think you get a really good solid veteran that's going to come to play. So speaking of that, I want to talk about, not to shift gears, but I like the tight ends we picked up.
You do?
Yeah, man. We picked up 2 tight ends, Jimmy Graham, and we picked up Demetrius Harris. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to tell you why I like both of them. Demetrius Harris is kind of a vet. He's been in the league for a while. Jimmy Graham, 10 years. And the great thing about Jimmy Graham, he's top 10 in receptions. Top 10 in yards.
For tight ends?
For tight ends. For tight ends. Top 10 in yards and top 10, I think, in receptions or TDs. One of them. Let me just check my notes here. I don't want to misspeak. Yeah, so he's top 10 in TDs and in yards. So you're talking about one of the most accomplished tight ends, I'm sorry. And he's 6'7". Demetrius Harris is 6'7". Mm-hmm. Both of them played basketball in college. So I like the fact we have some veteran tight ends, but they're big targets, and they're both super athletic.
Yeah.
I think that can cause problems because that was one of the keys to the success with the New England Patriots with Gronk. It seemed like every time he was on the field, he was bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
And so now it's great we're going to have 2 tight ends that are going to be like the 2 biggest dudes on offense on the field.
Yeah.
Whether you do some double tight end sets or if you go with one guy rotating for the other, I like the fact we got 2 good tight ends. One of them is I think a first ballot Hall of Famer in Jimmy Graham, but we got size and athleticism.
Yeah, that's a good point, having that size and athletic players, because a lot of teams, like if they have corners or linebackers, that's a good thing about tight ends because they're bigger than most corners, and they're normally more athletic than a linebacker. So having a Jimmy Graham or Demetrius Harris, and then if you have a guy like Allen Robinson on the field too, that's 3 people that are big, physical. And a lot of teams not going to have 3 guys that could play defense like that.
That's a good
maybe
point.
1 or 2. So that is a good point, having that size. And then also the guy Komet, the first pick, the second round pick of the Bears.
Yeah, that's where you're right.
Another big tight end.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
6'6".
Yeah, good point.
He seems pretty athletic as well.
Yeah. See, so we doing it, man. Bears, we trying to come up and get ready to win that Super Bowl, baby. Making a lot of moves. So, who else you want to talk on the offensive side? Or you ready to switch over to defense? We love defense in Chicago.
I have a question.
We got a question from our camera
April,
woman extraordinaire, April. What you got, April?
So you all were just talking about tight ends, and once the news went out, a lot of the Bear fans felt that Jimmy Graham is a has-been player, like his prime is over. So do you think, are we going to see that 2016 Jimmy Graham? Or do you think we're going to see the 2019 Jimmy Graham? What do you think maybe like a pushback? Why do you think a lot of Bears fans think that Jimmy Graham has passed his prime?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we'll see a resurgence. You know, that's the fan in me is saying, because one thing about Jimmy Graham, he is a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
We know what he can do at his best, and I think when you come to a team with a winning environment and you come to an offense that's been looking for a tight end for years, I think they're gonna really try to get him the ball. And I think it won't be as much pressure on him. He won't be such a focal point because the Bears have so many different weapons. They got running backs they throw to. We got a bunch of different receivers. So he'll just be a piece of the system. And I think it'll create a lot of opportunities. And definitely, like, even if he's not putting up big numbers, he's still somebody you got to watch. You know, you got to pay attention to him. You're not just going to leave him open. So I think he's going to be a benefit. Even if he's not getting the ball, he's going to be getting other people open because you have to know where he is on the field. What about you?
I like that. I like that assessment. I think you said it perfectly. I mean, I would much rather have him than not have him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a good assessment. All right, let's go to the defense. You know, we love defense in Chicago. We still repping the 85 Bears. Always will. So, yeah, let's talk about defense. So, what do you feel about the defense? How you think we did on the defense in terms of upgrades and offseason and so on and so forth?
So, the biggest signing on defense this year was Robert Quinn from Dallas, defensive end. He's had some like amazing seasons in the past for sure. Been a Pro Bowler a couple times. Had a big year last year too. And I really like the signing because, you know, I think when you got Khalil Mack on one side, you got Akeem Hicks in the middle, you got Eddie Goldman in the middle. You know, you need that other piece on the other side, you know, because if you can create pressure with just 4 people, you know, it's just going to make you pretty much impossible to beat. And I think Robert Quinn is that guy. He had a great year last year. He's coming into, I think, an even better defense. Dallas has a good defense too, but you know, we're better. And you gotta have Khalil Mack. You gotta have somebody else with him.
Yeah. And you know, they signed him for 5 years, $70 million. So the Bears are saying, "Look, we believe in you." He had 11.5 sacks last season, which put him in the top 10, maybe the top 7 or 8. You know, you get that pressure coming off the edge, and you got the big contract. You got the Mac man on defense. Yep. In my opinion, one of the top, if not the top, or top 2-3 defenders in the entire league.
Yep.
So I'm expecting big things from him. I mean, if he can get double-digit sacks again with the Khalil Mack, you talked about Akeem Hicks coming back.
Yeah.
We're going to make some noise on defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that pickup too because you got a guy that can produce and get to that quarterback. And that's always a plus in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
You can never have too many good pass rushers. You know, that's
a good point.
You can never. I think, just having that partner with Khalil Mack, having them on both sides, I think it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
Another pickup, you got... what's his name? Another pickup, you got Tyshaun Gibson coming over from Houston. Strong safety or free safety. They might switch positions, but I like this move too. I think you needed, since HaHa left from last year, I think you needed to get another safety back there with Eddie Jackson. And I like him. He's physical. He's been a Pro Bowler a couple times or once, I think. And then he's had over 20 interceptions in his career. And that's what we love about defense in Chicago. You know, you got to make plays, you got to make turnovers, and he's a guy that could do that. And I think him and Eddie Jackson would be a good team back there. It just adds a lot of competition back there.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I like HaHa. You know, I never thought HaHa Clinton Dix would leave Green Bay. So when he came over to Chicago from our arch rival Green Bay, you know, I thought that was a good signing. But now that he's gone, I think Gibson will be a great fill-in.
Yeah.
Because he can play. And he's once again, the Bears are taking more of a veteran approach. Guys that are proven and guys that they know they can count on. And I think they still have a lot left in the tank. Sometimes people just, because a player has the tag veteran, they just think a person can't play anymore. It doesn't matter what they do on the field. They just say, oh, he's a veteran, he can't play. But I think the Bears have made a lot of smart moves by getting veterans who can still play.
For sure.
So, yeah, I like that. I like that move, you know. Yeah. I think that's going to solidify the defense. Monsters of the Midway, back.
Yeah. And the last guy I want to talk about, he not a free agent, but re-signing Danny Trevathan. I thought that was a smart move. You know,
yeah.
When you have a good unit, he's definitely one of the leaders on the team. So you want to keep those guys just to keep the team together. And he's a great player. I mean, makes plays, makes big plays, and it's consistent. You know, you never he's always on. You know, and that's what you want. So I thought that was a good move.
I agree. I think that is a good move. So now let's go to special teams. Cordell Patterson, a lot of people don't know, he was a Pro Bowler. He had the most kick return. He had the best kick return average of any player in the NFC, and I think he was like second in the entire league. He was a very quiet Pro Bowler last year, and quite frankly, I thought he was underused. Mm-hmm. I thought we were going to use him all over the field because, you know, he can be a running back, he can be a wide receiver, and then we know he's a really good special teams player because he was a Pro Bowler last year. Like I say, he was a quiet Pro Bowler though. So I think his production and I think his usage is going to increase.
Yeah,
which is really going to help our special teams. We got a young kicker, Eddie Pinero, if I'm saying that right. He hit a game winner for us against Denver in the third week. And then he missed the opportunity for a game winner in the 8th week against the Chargers. So he has the potential.
For sure.
He was around 82-83% for the season. So he made some big field goals, but he missed a few big ones. But I think he's going to come back with a lot more confidence, some more work experience under his belt. So I like our special team because in Chicago, we love offense, but we're more so a team that's always thrived on defense and special teams.
Yep.
You guys know about the 2005 Bears with our boy Hester and, you know, the best returner in the history of the NFL. Earl Ack on defense, Lance Briggs on defense, and we pretty much got to the Super Bowl on defense and special teams. So I think that's going to be a big boost for us. With Cordell Patterson probably getting more usage. Now you got a player like Ted Ginn. Tariq Cohen is going to be a little more experienced. He's still a young player. If we just get a little more consistency in the field goal kicking, I think that'll really boost us and make us even more formidable because I think our defense is going to be very formidable. And when you have a good defense, even if you don't score, a lot of times they put you in position to get that field goal, to get 3 points out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. We covered the big moves on offense, defense, and special teams. Now, some of the things that we thought they should have improved, or players, positions they could have got but didn't go for. My big one is the O-line. They didn't really make any changes. They drafted some young players in like the 6th and 7th round. But, you know, those are guys you want to train up for a couple years. So I don't think they got any like immediate upgrades at O-line, or just add some competition in there. And because I don't think they were consistent last year. You know, some games they were really good. You know, Mitch had time. The running lanes were wide. You know, they looked amazing. And then sometimes it was inconsistent. And that could just be with inconsistency with the whole offense. You know, maybe it was just an off year on every front. But I think they should have added a little bit more competition in there and maybe got some like players that could compete for a starting job.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. You know, I don't have to add much to that. We know our offensive line is a work in progress. You know, we're Bear fans, so we're optimistic. We're never going to hate on our Bears, but we're just keeping it real. Let's get that O-line, shored up. And again, that consistency, because, you win games on the line. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's all about the line.
It's all about the lines. That O-line and that D-line is how you consistently win games. And we're trying to go to the Super Bowl this year. So, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And then the only other position I thought they should bring somebody in that was a running back. I actually love David Montgomery. I think he should have got more carries last year. When we ran the ball, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
From what I saw. And I love Tariq Cohen as well, because he's a guy you can, put anywhere, and he can make big plays. But I thought they should bring in maybe like a bigger running back or even a fullback, just to have that option, because Tariq and Montgomery are more like shifty guys.
Right.
They could break tackles and stuff too, but I think just getting I think LeGlaire Blunt was a free agent for a while, or just a big power back, so you had that option if you need a tough yard or two.
Which, to be honest, they could not all the way, but maybe they could kind of use Patterson like that. Because he did that a lot in New England.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that could be his primary role, because you don't want to wear him down or get him hurt. But you can put him in some packages and let him run a little more power football. But I totally agree. We need someone who that's what they do.
Yeah.
Patterson can do it, but that's not really what he does. But he can run between the tackles. He's a strong physical guy. But I have to agree with you wholeheartedly there. We got two good young running backs. I like Montgomery. I like Tariq Cohen. They're exciting. When they get in space, they're very exciting. So we'll see how that goes. But you're right. We got to have a little more physicality, because we are in the NFC North, and it's about physicality. That's we play. We like smash mouth, black and blue football. So yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. Yeah,
and I think it would be even better if you just had that bowling ball kind of guy that can get you. Because that just to have that guy, it could wear down the other defense, because they got to keep tackling him. And even if he's not making big plays, and then you put in a guy like Tariq Cohen or Montgomery after that, now the defense is already tired. They're not going to keep up with them. So I definitely thought that was an area they would go for. But was there any other areas you thought they could have made more moves at?
No, I think we covered it all. I'm interested to see how things are going to work out, how Nagy's going to coach these guys. He's young, so we got a coach that's still learning as he goes. So I hope he comes back a little more mature, a little more seasoned. So I think that's another wild card. He hasn't been around the block as a head coach. So hopefully he matures with the team and gets a little more creative and, coach to the player's strength. Most great coaches, as they get older, get a little more experience, a little more seasoned, they learn to adjust their schemes to the talent that they have. And you saw that with Harbaugh in Baltimore, how he just totally changed his offensive scheme to fit Lamar Jackson. So I think Nagy will get that with time, and I'm really hoping this season he gets more of a rhythm as a head coach, but it takes a little time. So I'm really kind of looking forward to see that as well. A little more maturity at the coaching level, because sometimes, experience is the best teacher.
Yep. And also with Chuck Pagano, it was his first year as defensive coordinator.
Right.
And that was a tough job. I don't think he gets enough credit. Coming in after Fangio had left to be the head coach of Denver. And coming in and keeping the defense was pretty good. They weren't as good, but that was one of the best seasons. Oh yeah, so coming in after Fangio, it was that was a tough role, to come in with the number one defense and do something. But they were pretty good. They were still top 5. And I think with another year with the defense, and I think they got even better players on defense now. So I'm excited to see how they develop as well.
Yeah, I agree. Chuck Strong, baby. Chuck Strong, Chicago Bear now. So that's it, man. I think we covered everything. You got anything else you want to say?
Oh, we got to do the final rating.
Okay.
Yeah, but before we wrap it up, just wanted to send our condolences to the McCaskey family. Michael McCaskey, the president and CEO of the Bears when we won the 1985 Super Bowl, he passed away on Saturday, so we just want to send our condolences to their family and also to the Bears team and the front office. He, under McCaskey's watch, we reached the playoffs 8 times, won 6 division titles, and we also claimed the Super Bowl in 1985. So we just wanted to send our condolences to the Bears administration and their family.
Well said, well said. Rest in peace. And to all the people who are dealing with the coronavirus, people who have lost loved ones, people who might be dealing with someone who's positive or sick right now, and to the people that haven't contracted it, but, you know, we're dealing with stay at home and social distancing and all those things. We want to give a shout out to you guys and just say, hey, keep your head up and things are going to get better. And to all of the first responders and all of the essential workers and every type of endeavor, from healthcare to delivery people to janitors, you know, shout out to you as well. But this is, you know, this is what we do, man, as Americans. We and just people all over the world, because this has impacted people all over the world. We just keep on moving forward and we unite, we get each other's back. Things will get better soon. And we just want to bring a little joy into your life, talking about football, something that we love, but we always have that humility and love in our heart for what's going on right now. And now we're going to go into the ratings. 1 star means we didn't do so hot during the offseason with our pickups. 5 star mean we hit a home run, and the Bears did an excellent job with trades and, you know, the draft and different move, free agency. So I'll start it off. I will have to give the Bears 4 stars. I think we had a really good offseason. We addressed a lot of the things we needed to address. And again, I like the fact we got veterans, but I take a star off because we do need a little more help on the O-line. But you can't have everything, so I'll go with 4. April, what you think?
Well, I think the Bears, we did a really good job. I would give them 3.5 stars because I felt that we had so much opportunity, particularly with our quarterback, and, you know, saying Nick is great, Trubisky is a great young quarterback with a lot of potential, but Nick Foles can be injury prone, and he's a little bit older. And I just felt that there was a lot of young talent, in particular, out in the NFL where we could have got maybe a quarterback that is a little bit more experienced than Trubisky and not as injury prone as Nick Foles. That we can have like a long-term quarterback. I just, you know, that's probably why I would give it 3.5 stars. But I think, but you know, we're in a tough division. Green Bay is 3 hours away, so it's just a lot to take into consideration about how we're going to do this fall.
I would give this offseason a 3.5 as well. I think the defense got even better. You know, we already had a great defense, and I think we added a couple more playmakers. Offensively, I think we added some weapons. We put some competition at quarterback. But I'm not... We have to see how it plays out and how everything fits together. Because that's how I felt last season. You know, like, we got all these weapons, and the defense is even better. And then we saw what happened.
8-8.
Yeah, 8-8. So I just want to see it actualized. I do think we have a lot there. And like I said, I think we should have added some more competition at O-line. And maybe instead of trading away draft picks to move up to get certain players, maybe take like the Belichick approach. He actually trades down, gets more picks, and that way you're bringing in more guys. I think that's a lot smarter. You know, where Pace has a tendency to trade up, and now you have less picks.
There it is. First podcast in the vault. I'm Mike Burrage.
Mike Burr.
Father and son, we did it. So, hey, we want to hear what you have to say. Give us your stars in the comments. Give us some feedback. We definitely going to read it. We want to make this organic thing. So that's it. Love you guys. Stay up. Mike Burr, drop the beat.